Hey everybody, it's Narrative Tarot. So, I have another video. It's my experience with Nada Yoga. So, it was cool. So, let's do the whole spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, commenting, liking. Just populates the video more. People will see it more because it's shown through the engagement that it gets that people actually like the content. So comment, liking it is great. Subscribing is great just because you're in the loop. Or you can check back every few weeks, months, whatever. I do full new moon readings, redemption reading, random readings as I see fit, book club, and then I do monthlies by planet. I believe that everybody has a planet in their natal chart that they probably should work with very closely or has a huge impact on their life, and understanding that planet and working with it will help them. So I do my monthly readings by planet, not zodiac, and that's why. So yeah, that's great. Okay, so this video is my experience with Nada Yoga, and I only did one thing, and I wish I was working so I could do a full set of classes, but I'm gonna read what Nada Yoga is because I didn't look into it before I got it. It was just free, and I was like, okay, I'm open to the experience. Cool. So this is Wikipedia, right? Wikipedia, Nada Yoga is an ancient Indian metaphysical system. It is equally a philosophical system, a medicine, and a form of yoga. The system's theoretical and practical aspects are based on the premise that the entire cosmos and all that exists in the cosmos, including human beings, consist of vibrations called nada. So, with that in mind, let's get into it. So, I follow, it's called Moonrise Cottage Tarot. I think that's what it is. It's Mary Ellen Moonrise Cottage. Moonrise Cottage Soul Tarot. You'll know it's the right one because it's like a pink swirly lady or something like that in the picture. So definitely she has a website, which is Moonrise Cottage Soultarot.com. So if you guys are interested in this, I think she's doing the class this Sunday. Just email her if you go to the website. I enjoyed the experience. I really liked it, so I recommend it for everyone that is seeking to not even go into it in depth, just explore it. This one I think is paid. You have to pay, but if you have the extra money to spare and you want to do it, then definitely contact her or see if there's going to be later dates, because I'm probably going to come in a later date now when I start working again. But okay, so I get there and I don't know what the setup is. For those of you who haven't watched any other video, I've done transcendental meditation. I've studied that as far as taking the official TM class, because they do have a class and you have to go through them for that. I've done Reiki, so I've done Yusui, Holy Fire, Kundalini 1 and 2, all 3 of those. And then tarot, but that was more intuitive. I got into that. And so I'm not really into yoga, Ayurveda, Vedic kind of knowledge, astrology. I'm not into Kabbalah, none of that. I'm kind of more intuitive with my stuff. But I decided to go down this route just because it was free, y'all. That's what helps. But also, I was just really interested in the meditation part because I haven't gotten into meditation since Transcendental last year, early 2020. I really haven't been consistent with that. But the times that I did do it, I felt it. I could ground a lot better. I felt a lot more at ease, at peace. So even if you don't continue with this, I think meditation is something that you could consider. And it's just really helpful for people, I think. So um, just try it. So we get to the class and she's like talking. I got there late, me. And I end up being in my bed for some reason. I think I just didn't want to go to bed. So she's explaining the stuff. I kind of come in later, but she's talking, and I'm glad I didn't miss. I'm glad that I got there before the whole meditation started, because that was what I was so scared of. So she's explaining it. I'm like looking at it, like listening. I don't really know what it is. I'm not really sure how this is gonna work out, but whatever. I decided to just stay in my bed, and so we all kind of get ourselves ready for the meditation. And so she starts playing the instrument. I don't know what it is, but it's some instrument. It's a fairly large instrument. It's stringed. And so she starts playing, and I'm like, okay, cool, cool. So I was kind of fidgety. My pillows just piss me off because like they're not structured, and my neck hurts and shit. So I'm like rolling around a little bit. And so I eventually settled down into it, and just listening to it, listening to the music play, music play. I'm like, okay. And so I eventually kind of settle into it, right? So one of the things I started noticing was that was talking about like energy. It's very foggy to me, like now what happened, except for like the major experience I'll talk about, but like kind of foggy. But I felt like the energy in the room, if energy was like, it just felt like these really long waves, just really long waves, like time. Not it slowed down, but I just felt like the waves were really long. And so I started to notice that. And I noticed, because there were people in the other room talking, that cut the waves and it made it shorter. And I just kind of stop, like, you're messing up the flow. But it was just really long waves. Like the length of the wave was long, not necessarily like the sound, but like the length of the entire body that is a wave was long. I don't know how to explain it. It's like really hard to explain. So I noticed that, and then I was settled in, and it's like, okay, I settled in more, and then I started thinking about like outer space at some point, about being in outer space, and how like there's no air out of space, there's no like sound and air out of space. So like I'm very fascinated by that. I'm just kind of like, so I don't know if I want to experience it, but like obviously I can't, because I'll like die. Right, like I can't really experience it as a human. But I was thinking about that, and so I kind of feel like at that point we really did like leave, because there was a card that she held up, and she was like, I think we traveled like here with this card. And I'm like, I feel like we may have. But so I was thinking about that and settling in, and I was facing the computer, and I turned around so my back could get some of the vibration. I felt like that was important for me. And so I did that. There was a little flash of light, white light, and then it was like this radiantness. And I heard the word like Hantu or Hantu, and I was like, okay. And then like we got deeper into the meditation, and I remember having to ground. I had to ground, and I remember being almost like, like when a roach like is on its back, and it's like its arms and stuff is like, that's how I was. And it was like I was in the forest, and I like was on my back, but it was kind of like I was on my back, and I was getting lower and lower into the ground. Then I was underground. I felt like there was some people and they're like, come with me, and I was like, what the fuck is it? Like, so I did that really briefly, but I went down, and I just it reminds me of like in Harry Potter when like I don't know if anybody watched Harry Potter, the one where they were in the competition where they would like stupefy people. And like I remember the one scene when Fleur Delator or whatever, she got stunned in the movie, and then like the vines like wrapped around her and like slowly pulled her off. Like that's how it was, but I was sinking into the earth, and I could see the sky and I could see these really tall trees, and it's something I've seen before in a Kundalini like meditation. And I was just lowering into the ground. Then the whole tunnel thing happened, and then it was then I don't remember the people, but it was just like it was like a lot of them. It was like come with me, and then it like changed. And then the major one I had was when I felt like my whole nervous system, like at the crown of my head, like that activated like a lot because I ended up having this like windstorm, but I want to call it cosmic like turbulence. Like, you know, when you see the wind turbulence or you see a sandstorm and it's like really blowing at you or blowing around you, think about that. Like, I was standing there and it was just, or being there, I don't know, but it was like just swirling. Like, it was just this orange swirl, but like when I grounded or connected with something, it would be like little streaks or flashes of blue in there. And I was just like, I didn't know what was going on, but I knew that like we were in the meditate. I knew we were in the meditation, and it was just like doing that. And then I fell off my bed, but I didn't fall off my bed like in real life, like my physical body that I remember, because that would be weird. But like I remember thinking to myself, I fell off my bed, and it hurt when I fell off my bed, and I was looking up, and then I don't remember nothing, and then I was doing it again with the whole nervous system mind sweeping thing, and I feel like I like activated and then rolled off my bed, then got back on the bed, activated, and then rolled off, and I did like 2 or 3 times, and I was so confused. Like it was just weird, and it was periods where like some other people noted this that leak. They were kind of just like, am I here? Like, what happened? Like, am I like, what's going on? Like, there's a point in transcendental meditation where like you enter this state where like it's just like you're not aware of you as a person consciously are not aware of like your surroundings or anything like that. And then when you come out of that space, you're like, where was I? Was I anything? Was I doing something? I feel like for people who have they have questions of death, and this is why I'm like drawn to this as well. You might find studying this or participating in this, you find peace with death, because it's like my nails look pretty nice. Yay. Anyway, so you might find peace with death as a topic, as a not lived experience, but as an experience if you do this line of meditation kind of stuff. Because I think a lot of people are like, what happens, like particularly to our like consciousness and stuff like that. Like, so I'm not saying it's a surefire like this is death, like you're experiencing death before you die, but I think that you might get a little more peace about that. This is longer than I thought. I'm like a long-winded storyteller. So we come out of the meditation because like also weirdly I felt like I was going to sleep, but when she stopped I immediately knew that the meditation was over. So I was still aware, which is cool. So we like discuss it, we talk about it. That's when she explained that like we probably went to where that cart was, because that cart was like a swirl and stuff like that. And so we all shared our experiences. One lady shared an experience, not an experience, but what she had been thinking about as far as like the forest and stuff like that. And the forest, and she was talking like the fungi, whatever you want to pronounce it. And I wanted to say something, but like I think people started talking, and I like got lost in the background. But like I've been thinking about trees and roots and like connecting with that stuff and connecting with the things that are like in the not in the tree, because there are spirits I feel like in the trees. My nails just look so good. I'm sorry. Um, in the trees and the elements, but particularly the plant kingdom and particularly like the fungi as well. Like, I just feel like they have a lot to say. Like, they have a lot to say, and I don't know if we've like now we're reaching a point in human consciousness that we can actually connect with them and like learn from them in a specific way that is beneficial to us. But I feel like it's time for that to happen. So I'm just really excited about that because it confirmed for me that, like, not like, oh, you're right, but kind of just like, with this kind of work, sometimes you kind of feel like everybody's everybody in the spiritual community is on the same wave and that they're like picking up messages, but they're not all on the same wave, as in they like get the same message, right? Like certain people jive for certain people. Like I feel like there's a whole umbrella of consciousness. I did a video on this. A big umbrella of what consciousness is, and it's like a vast array, but like each person is like in its own, each group of people that follow certain things are in their own like bubble. They're on their own wave. And like sometimes they get off the wave and they go to another wave. And that's why you find like very almost contradictory like things. I kind of find that when people say stuff like this, they're not like it's like, to me, I kind of just feel like all things exist in a way, just because like, because I know people talk about like one true God or one true this, but I kind of feel like the consciousness allows for somebody to be like someone who believes in a God and someone who doesn't believe in a God. I feel like their consciousnesses aren't like, no one's struck down for their consciousness, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at with that. But outside of that, I'm just really excited with the experience, and I liked it and I enjoyed it, and I will be diving deeper into it, and some other stuff that I learned afterwards. So I like get words from time to time, and I look up the word languages, just the language, not even the meaning no more, because like I find that the spelling translates to many languages, which gets me into my whole discussion of glossolalia, however you want to call it, which is something that I do, and I did because I did Holy Fire Reiki, and that brought that out. But the word that I found was like Hantu or Hantu or something like that. I looked it up, and it's actually like Malay, Indonesian, but it means like ghost. It means ghost. Some people specifically say demon, and I'm like, ah, shit, here we go. But like, they're just like on the most basic level in their belief system, it means ghost. And I was like, it would be me. And so like that was a whole thing. But I look up words, different languages. I feel like my ancestors give me words so I can look up where some of them are from. But on some level, I feel like it's just connected me with all of humankind in general. But some of it is ancestral. Some of it is ancestral. But that was my experience with it. I enjoyed it. So wrapping up, I did the meditation. My central nervous system my whole nervous system, I feel like, was lit up, because like that whole thing was up here with the brain, and it's not like I felt a jolt, electricity or anything like that. I just felt like something had sparked, and it was just dealing with DNA and stuff like that. So I feel like I got a new upgrade, bitch. Power Rangers. Or you know when they get like new tools like for the superpowers or whatever. I'm gonna go back on my computer. But that's it. So if you want to study Nada yoga, Nada yoga, yoga, then go for it. I think it's great. If you want to study transcendental meditation, that's cool. I think they kind of serve the same purpose. I felt a little more intensely with the Nada yoga, obviously, but transcendental meditation is like cool too. Meditation in general, I think, is really helpful. So, thanks for watching. The new video that is coming out, I think I'm going to do a Chinese astrology reading on the metal ox, and then I'll do another redemption reading. I feel like this metal ox, this ox thing's gotta be done, so I'll go ahead and do that, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.